You ever wanted to take a solo Disney vacation or wondered why anybody would do it? I've got 10 tips and reasons why this might be the best vacation you've ever had. So hurry back.
Just an 80s boy and a 90s teen, going on all things Disney, from mouse to parks and in between. Come share the magic with me. La 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 la. Live your life to a Disney tune. Come and share Jake's Disney Afternoon.
Hey Disney Afternoon gang, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for returning. If you're new here, my name is Jake and I do all kinds of Disney content, including subscription boxes, swaps, hauls, vintage trips, trivia, pins, solo Disney vacations. If it's Disney, I'm doing it, so you're going to want to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next Disney adventure. Speaking of Disney adventures, I just got back from my first solo Walt Disney World vacation, and it was the best trip I have ever taken. It was so much fun. I've always wanted to do a solo trip. A little scared about doing it, wondering if maybe you feel the same way. So I've got 10 things I learned while I was on my solo vacation trip. Number 1, pick a low attendance time of the year. January and February tend to be low after the holidays are over. After Labor Day, when school has started for sure across the country for most folks, is a low time. And I went about a few days before Halloween, and it was super low tide. No lines, no waiting, very small crowds. If you can go during the week, even better. You know, maybe you can schedule a few days off of work, a Tuesday, Thursday situation, or Wednesday, Friday, where you can travel a little bit on the weekends, maybe fly out Tuesday night, which is what I did. I spent 3 days in the parks. I think weekdays are a better option, and it's easier to coordinate when it's just you. Number 2, go cheap. It's just you. If you're like me, you have very few needs. You're going to be in the parks all day. You need a bed to sleep in at night. So don't stay on property. This is not the time where you're going to want to take the kids or the old folks back to the hotel midday for a little bit of a nap. Stick it out. Stay somewhere off property that you can get a good deal. My company, maybe like yours, has affiliate deals through some of their programs. I got a hotel for like $150 for the 5 days I was there. Not bad. It was comfortable, it was clean, it was simple, but you know what? That's all I needed. I also didn't rent a car. I Ubered from the airport, and I Ubered every day back and forth from the parks. It's not that expensive. I think it was about $30 to the airport or so. And then it was about $10 or $12 to each way to each of the parks. But, you know, if you're renting a car, you've got the gas, you've got parking on top of that. I also found that waiting for an Uber, because the Uber drop-off, the Lyft drop-offs are, you know, right outside the gates practically, so much faster getting back to the hotel. I was exiting the park and at my hotel in like less than 20 minutes every single day. So you're not waiting for the buses, you're not waiting for the trams, you're not waiting in the long line to get out of the park. They pick you up, they drop you off. What could be better than that? Worth the money. Fly cheap. Also, you know, take the middle seat. Don't pick your seat. Don't pay extra for that. I got my flight for $45. I also decided to check a bag in the end because I was going to do some shopping. But I only had to check one bag. I was certainly way under the weight limit, and that included bringing all of the shopping stuff back. So definitely something to consider when it's just you. And, you know, for me, it's a couple-hour flight, up, down. I can sit wherever. Number 3, make no plans. Don't map it out. I know some of you are going to rebel against this so much. Don't decide, am I starting in Tomorrowland? Am I starting in Fantasyland? Or am I going over to Adventureland? And am I looping around and then I'm going to take a midday break? Just go. Just go. Don't make any plans. Just wherever the heart wants to go, you know. Occasionally I would start somewhere where it looked like wait lines were low in the morning if I wasn't sure how long they were going to get to be. So I might bop to Fantasyland first, or I might go around the world, or I might, the only thing I did plan was Tron, because you have to get past the morning of for Tron. And so I definitely wanted to make sure I did that ride, but that was the only plan I had. And even within that, there's like an hour arrival time that you can sort of get there. Walk on to rides that don't have a wait time. If you're passing something and it's 5 minutes, pop on. Most of the rides while I was there, it was ridiculous. I would walk on, and because the line wasn't stopping, it was one continuous walking motion until I was on the ride. The only things I waited for were Rise of the Resistance and Tron, and those were only about a half hour each. And Ratatouille was about a half hour. But I can't tell you the last time I was at a park where a half hour was the maximum wait time. Everything else was 5, 10 minutes, except that stupid Peter Pan's flight. What is it with that Peter Pan's flight? Every bloody time. I didn't even ride it this time because it was like an hour, and I was like, no, I'm walking on all of these rides. I'm not waiting an hour. Not for me. If you can, meet up with some friends while you're down there. So, maybe you don't want to spend all of the time alone at the park, or maybe you, just want to spend time with people for a short amount of time and then kind of have most of it to yourself. I was lucky enough to meet up with an old high school friend, Chad, and I also got to meet Ashley and her husband, Eric, from Hey, Let's Unbox. We have talked over the years, but never got to meet in person. That was super awesome. And then Matt from Teacup for One and Two Tiny Wings were there, Pete and Allie, right around the same. We missed each other. We didn't get to bump into each other, but there's always people. If you're in the Disney community, there's always people going to the parks all the time. So if you can meet up with a few folks and say hi, it's a perfect excuse to just have a little bit of social interaction, but maybe not be bogged down by having a whole family or the kids with you. Make friends in line. Number 5. People love to talk about Disney. We're all Disney nerds. When I was on Tron, I was so nervous. I haven't been on a roller coaster in so long. And I was like, oh, do I do this? I don't even know. And I met these 3 guys in line. One of them was celebrating their 75th birthday. And he's like, dude, I'm on the back quarter end of life and I'm here doing this ride. Get on the ride with us. And, I so appreciated just that connection, and the ride was amazing. It is probably my new favorite ride in the park in terms of like actual rides. If you can, use the single rider line. Not all the rides have that. Or listen for announcements. Some of the bigger rides will ask for single rider folks to step forward. And you can pop in if you have just a party of one or just a couple of folks. That happened several times where they were looking for one. And I was like, pop, I jumped the line. The few times I had to wait and was on the ride, and it was great. So if you can take advantage of that, it is super convenient. So definitely look for those options. Number 7, explore. A lot of times I feel like, we're rushing. We've got fast passes and lightning passes and whatever the pass du jour of the month is that we're running to, and kids want to go this way and grandparents want to go that way and spouses want to go that way. And we don't just take time to stop and look around. There is so much to see at Disney that, I went to Galaxy's Edge for the first time and just got to really wander, look at all the details, all of the sort of hidden Mickey things, the Easter eggs that they put in there, that I feel like we're always just rushing by. And, I just got to take my time and not be worried about who I was holding up or what ride we were trying to catch next. I just was exploring, and there is so much to see and to read, so much history. Definitely take the time to do that. Number 8, one of my favorites, people watch. People are great to watch, especially at Disney. The crazy ones, the goofy ones, the ones in awesome costumes and awesome gear. It was just fun to sit and relax. I'd get a snack or something to drink. And because the crowds were so low, there were benches everywhere, particularly in Epcot, but even in the other parks too. I just got to sit and relax and just kind of take it all in. Again, I feel like we're just rushing. Enjoy the aesthetics of the park and the crazies. We're all here for the crazies, aren't we? Number 9, do your favorite things multiple times. If you're like me and you've got a couple of favorite things, you could loop on those round and round and do it a few times to get it out of your system. But we're usually with people who are rushing us onto their favorite thing, which is fair. I get it. But, I was able to. I did Muppets 3D. I love. I could watch that all day long. It just amuses me and makes me laugh. And so I did it multiple times. I also love watching Walt Disney One Man's Dream, that film that they have in the museum part at Hollywood Studios. Oh, it fills me with such joy and such nostalgia. So I usually loop that a few times, and it's a nice break during the day. But, you know, you're only there a short time. Soak it in, take it in, whatever you want to do. I also got to do some new things that I hadn't done for the first time. I hadn't done Country Bears Jamboree or People Mover or Hall of Presidents. Something else I didn't do. Yeah, so do what you want. Do what you want. Number 10, eat whatever you want. Don't make reservations unless you need to, unless you really are dying to go somewhere. You know, they've got specialty foods. I was there for Food and Wine, so, you know, you never know what's going to strike you. Don't feel like you have to eat on a schedule or the kids need to eat every 2 or 3 hours. We get into those cycles of life where we're used to patterns. If you see it, eat it, or in my case, if you see it, drink it. You know, you want a margarita at 11 in the morning from the Mexican Pavilion? Get it. That's what I did, and it was so great. It was a hot day, and, you know, I indulged. That's what vacation is all about. I feel like it's so hard to just indulge in what we want and to just go with whatever happens. We're so used to making plans. So being alone just gives you that freedom. And I'm telling you, it was the best trip I've ever taken. I'd love to hear about your solo vacations. Do you have any other tips and tricks that I didn't address? Leave me them down below. Have you taken a vacation, a solo vacation? Do you want to take a solo vacation? Love to hear about it. Hit like. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. And I hope to see you all soon on the next Disney Afternoon.